Do you feel the vibes?
What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin, and welcome to your Week 3 picks of the NFL 2016 season. Week 2, I went 11-5. Guess what team lost? I had a feeling they were gonna fucking lose, and this is after getting completely destroyed by the Niners. Not referring to the Seattle Seahawks. They managed to score only 3 points against the Rams. Like I said, division rival. But the Seattle Seahawks offense, Russell Wilson, what has he been doing these first 2 weeks? Defense has kept up their end of the bargain by really holding teams down. But the offense has done nothing to help them. Is it play calling? If you watch the games, just unable to move the ball. This is talking about a team who ended the season really hot. But anyway, let's quickly get into the pick. This time around, I'm going to use my tablet. You can see I got a nice little case. This is Samsung Galaxy Tab. This is the old model. I don't have the newer one. I'm probably going to get the new one at some point. But this one's been working fine. Hopefully the damn app doesn't freeze up on me because it usually does. But this is also the app that you use Game Pass on and all that other shit. If you haven't seen my video about the Game Pass and the huge increase in price, which is completely ridiculous, but I love the NFL. I watch all the games, so I think it's well worth my money. Maybe not you. $100 does seem a lot, especially in comparison to $40 and $60. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into these picks real quick. As you know, the Patriots dismantled the Houston Texans. I picked the Patriots on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I picked the Patriots. They won 27-0. So let's go ahead and get to the Sunday, which it's about 10:30, 10:40, something like that. So the game's starting about 2.5 hours. So I'm getting this video up. It'll probably be up around like 11 or sometime, 11:30, whatever. It'll be up. Of course, let me know what your picks, and I'll mention my game of the week or whatever. Let's see. Sunday 1:00 game. The Arizona Cardinals head to Buffalo to play the Bills. Now the Bills' offense looked a little better. No Sammy Watkins, so it's gonna hurt for their offense. But the defense, you got Rex Ryan, overrated, who. This is supposed to be a great defense. You have some talent back there in the secondary. You got some talent up front. You haven't seen it. The Jets were moving the ball up and down the field on them. Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker, Matt Forte had 3 touchdowns. They were moving the ball up and down the field. In the Bills, Arizona came, of course, coming off the Week 1 loss, which honestly it was all in their favor. The Patriots have guys who are out. And Arizona was at home. They redeemed themselves with a win last week against Tampa Bay. Pretty much destroyed them. And I think they beat Buffalo as well. Fitzgerald, throughout his career, he hasn't had a great quarterback. But, you give him a guy like, he had Kurt Warner. He was a beast. He had Carson Palmer. You see what he did in last year's playoffs. Of course, up until the Panther game. And you saw what he did against the Patriots. Now, his the other game wasn't as good, but the guy is still a beast. He's willing to do the little things. I got the Cardinals in that one. Next one, the Minnesota Vikings heading to Carolina to play the Panthers. Now, the game was in question with all the riots that was going on in Charlotte. The game was in question, but they did say it's going to happen. It's not going to be postponed. It's not going to be moved. So it will be at 1:00 Eastern Standard Time. The Vikings came off a really good defensive show against the Packers and really held Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers didn't really play good, and really the only score came off of a turnover. Now, they won't have AP, which they were still able to win the Vikings game, and he hasn't been as good. Run blocking honestly hasn't been as good. I do like his pass protection, but he won't be in there. But Sam Bradford, hate his fucking helmet. The guy has an oversized helmet. But he's a solid quarterback. He's accurate. He can learn the offense really quick. And he can move teams up and down the field. He did it while he was in Philly. And you saw it in the Packers game. Carolina coming off a win against Denver, where turnovers were a big thing in that game. I know I didn't do a review, but turnovers were a big thing. I think most of the 49ers points came off short fields, turnovers. But the Panthers offense really, Cam Newton was in rare form in last week's game. And it's going to be a tough game because this Vikings defense is really good. But I got the Panthers beating the Vikings at home. Next game, you got Denver heading to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. Denver's 2-0. They played some quality teams. You had the Panthers week 1. You had the Colts week 2, a healthy Colts team. Now you got Cincinnati. So that schedule is pretty tough. Cincinnati's coming off the loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The offensive line is a big issue I see with the Cincinnati Bengals. And Denver's going to take full advantage of it. Denver's defense is the strength of that team as they try to get Simeon in, more experience. So the defense running game is going to be the strength of that Denver team. I got Denver. Cincinnati has issues with the offensive line. You can see Pittsburgh was getting pressure on Andy Dalton. I see Denver doing the same thing. Von Miller. I don't know about DeMarcus Ware's health. It's still, I guess, questionable, but he's probably going to play. So give me Denver in that game. Next game, division game. The Detroit Lions head to Green Bay to play the Packers, who are just coming off a loss. Offense hasn't looked good. They didn't look good last week, but the Vikings have been playing them tough especially last season as they won the division. But you saw in the last game, the Vikings played them tough. It's a division game. Could be a close game. I'm going to still take Green Bay because Detroit let me fucking down by losing to Tennessee. I'm not saying Tennessee's really bad. It's an NFL team any given Sunday, but come on, man. Give me Green Bay in that one. Next one, you got Baltimore heading to Jacksonville to play Jaguars. Common trap game for Baltimore. They are 2-0 as well. They beat Cleveland last week. I'm going to go Baltimore. Like I said, common trap game. I could lose it. If you have my luck, I'm probably going to lose it. Despite my records usually being good in terms of these picks, I'm going to stick with Baltimore. That's the team that's in my head I think is going to come out with the win. Next game, you got Cleveland heading to Miami to play the Dolphins. I got the Dolphins. Cleveland sucks. Miami has played pretty much everyone they played. They played Seattle tough. They played New England tough. But Cleveland's one of the worst teams in football down there with Jacksonville. Although Jacksonville's making some improvements, you just don't see it on the field. You kind of saw it week 1, but you didn't see it in week 2 as they got dismantled by the San Diego Chargers. But anyways, I'm gonna take Miami in that game. That's a flip of the coin game because Miami, you don't know what you're gonna get out of them. You have players saying we're tired of being what do you say, like teams that play in close games but just can't win them. That's essentially what they've been in the first 2 weeks. But I got them winning this game. Next game, some drama in this one. The Washington Redskins head to New York to play the Giants, and of course the big thing coming out of this is the Josh Norman, Odell Beckham thing. That's all people really been talking about. They haven't really been talking about the team. Of course, you talking to. If you look at like the NFL Network, which they do a solid job of really breaking down matchups, so I do like that. They're definitely not shitty ESPN or the NBA channel. They're not like that, but you see them really break it down and talk about weaknesses and strengths and whatever, instead of just talking about the Odell Beckham, Josh Norman. But that's what's gonna get them views, so of course they're gonna fucking talk about it. Now with the Redskins, Josh Norman, how they've been using him is, they'll put the opposite corner of him on the best receiver. Pit Josh Norman on an island with the second best receiver, and that's usually who he covers. He covers him one-on-one, and they essentially double team the best guy. Didn't work against Pittsburgh, and honestly, I wouldn't necessarily blame the defense for last week's loss against Dallas. Kirk Cousins had some costly turnovers that pretty much killed their chances of winning. So you never could really blame one person, but I would definitely put more blame on that offense just for the turnovers, mainly Kirk Cousins. This game, I got the Giants winning, man. The Redskins, Giants, just looking at them, they're poised to probably win that division. Although Dallas hasn't been as bad as they were last year. They were in that game against the Giants. They beat the Redskins. So I can see Dallas really competing, even with Dak Prescott. It was actually okay quarterback. So give me the Giants in that one. In the Odell, Josh Norman rematch. And those two guys are the main reason they changed the whole personal foul thing, where you get two, you're ejected, because of how many they got in the last year's Panthers-Giants game. Those are the guys that really changed that. Next you got, this is the last of the 1 o'clock games. Oakland heads to Tennessee to play the Titans. The Titans got a close win against the Lions. Hats off to them, 16-15, I believe. Oakland, defense hasn't looked as good. Offense has looked really good. Another flip of the coin game, because I really don't like what I've seen from the Oakland defense. They've given up a lot of points, I believe close to 70 in 2 games. It doesn't cut it, man. You can't be giving up all these points. You can't expect your offense to carry you. But I'm going to take Oakland in this game. Hopefully they don't let me down. I'm just surprised. You go back 3 or 4 years, no way in hell am I picking Oakland in any week. Usually I'm picking against them. And even in the flip of the coin game, I'll say heads and say the opposite team that they're playing, flipping a double-headed coin. I don't give a shit. I'm not picking them. But I'm going to pick them in this game. So give me them in that game. Next, you have San Francisco heading to Seattle, play Seahawks. Yet again, Seattle's in another trap division game where it's pretty tough in that division and anyone can win it. But Seattle, for the most part, is usually dismantled the 49ers. It's always been the Rams they had trouble with, and lately the Cardinals. But the offense has not looked good. They have not been putting up a lot of points. They put up 3 points last game. They've only put up a total of 15 points in 2 games. Put up 12, of course, in the victory against Miami at home, which bad showing there. But the 3 points against the Rams was pathetic. It's coming after, honestly, an inferior offensive team in the 49ers ended up putting up 27 against that same Rams team. And they managed 3. Who's to blame? Offense coordinator, the talent. It's a lot of blame you can go there. But I'm still gonna pick Seattle. I don't think, although Blaine Gabbert has played well this year. I don't know, a lot of people like to talk about the Colin Kaepernick thing or whatever. Let's talk about football. Blaine Gabbert has actually played well. He made some plays in the Carolina game, albeit it was on short fields with because of Carolina Panther turnovers. Carolina had about 4 turnovers in that game, and the Niners scored on each one of them. But I'm still going to go with Seattle at home. I still think this offense, they're a big play offense. They rely on big plays, and the defense has still been good. Looking at the next game, the LA Rams head to Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers. I'm going to take the Buccaneers. They got beat down against Arizona, but I thought Arizona, it was more of a pride thing because they knew they should have won that Patriots game, and they were right there. Make a made field goal, they win that game. You saw last week, they were firing all cylinders, able to move the ball up and down the field on that Tampa Bay team. Defense played great. The Rams, Todd Gurley's really the only weapon. Case Keenum sucks. And, the defense, I think they show up against good teams, but then completely lay eggs against teams. You just don't expect them to. You just don't you expect them to play those teams better, seeing as how well they play teams like Seattle. Seattle's the main team, they play really well. But I'm gonna pick Tampa Bay in this game. Next game, Pittsburgh Steelers head to Philadelphia. Pittsburgh has to Philly play the Eagles. Give me Pittsburgh, man. The offense has been really good. D'Angelo Williams has been a beast. Offensive line has been blocking, run blocking. Dude looks fast. They're gonna get Le'Veon Bell. I think he has a 4-game suspension, so of course he doesn't come back this week. But D'Angelo Williams definitely, he's been a beast. I wish he would have ran like this in Carolina. And the defense played solid this year. Played well against Cincinnati. Was able to get pressure on Andy Dalton. And Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown's a beast. Give me Pittsburgh. Philly hasn't played anyone. 4 more games left. Next game, San Diego Chargers head to Indianapolis play the Colts. The Chargers put a beat down on Jacksonville. And Phillip Rivers is a good quarterback. He's just in a lose-lose situation. Offensive line's not good, so he has to make a lot of plays. Guys aren't really healthy for him. Lost a lot of guys on defense, so he's essentially on a team where he's just going to put up good numbers and probably lose a lot of games. But I'm going to take the Colts in this game. I pick Colts every week. They've let me down. No, I haven't. I didn't pick them last week. I picked Denver over them. But I'm going to pick them this week. They had a chance to win that Denver game, but just an amazing defensive play by Von Miller essentially sealed it for Denver. Colts in that one. Next game, you have the New York Jets. Next game, you have the New York Jets heading to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. The Jets offense, I think Fitzpatrick has some weapons. Forte, Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker. He has some talent on this team. I thought the pickup of Matt Forte was just great. I wish the Panthers would have tried to go after Matt Forte. But, the Jets got him. He had 3 touchdowns last week. So if you have him on your fantasy team, you did pretty damn good last week. Kansas City, a bad game against Titans, a game in which I picked them to win. I'm going to go with the Jets in this one. I think the Jets, if Fitzpatrick has got his head screwed on right, they can move the ball against just about anyone. So I'll take the Jets in that game, beating Kansas City in Kansas City. Next game, this is the Sunday night game. The Chicago Bears head to Dallas play Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys, man. Chicago's one of the worst teams. Sorry, Bruce. Sorry, all the Chicago fans. But even they can admit this team's in complete rebuild mode. Something's got to give with them. They got to retool the team. A lot of people want to blame Cutler, saying he's the worst quarterback. It's not necessarily his fault. The team around him is that good. Alshon Jeffrey can't stay healthy. The defense, up front, they're okay. In the back end, they don't know what they're doing back there in terms of personnel. But I'm going to take Dallas in that one. Next game, the Atlanta Falcons head to New Orleans to play the Saints. This is the Monday night game. This is a division game. Two teams that can score a lot of points. Although New Orleans only scored 13, Giants defense is really good. Atlanta was able to put up a lot of points against Oakland, which Oakland's defense did not play good in that game. They didn't play good against the Saints. This is a tough one to pick. I'm going to go with the Saints at home. Like I said, it's a division game. You can flip a coin. It could go either way. But that does it for the picks this week. I know I forgot the Week 2 Carolina Panthers, San Francisco 49ers review. But I will do a review of this one because this one's definitely a much better game. I think this is definitely better competition than the Niners. Despite having AP. Not having AP, I'm sorry. And let me look at it one more time real quick. My game of the week outside the Carolina, I'm not gonna use that one. Let's see. Looking through it, I'm gonna say that Denver, Cincinnati, those two really good teams. I like football so much. I have to say a bunch of these games. I could say Washington, New York, just because of the division game and the whole rivalry with Seattle. Josh Norman. Will Josh Norman actually defend Odell Beckham, or how would they game plan for that? And also the Atlanta New Orleans game, just because it's a division game. These teams, guys really show up for these games. Just don't know what it is. The guys on the other side, I don't like these guys. Of course we see them twice a year. We're used to playing each other. and guys really compete harder than they usually do. Not saying they don't. But let me know down in the comment section, what was your picks for week 2, week 1? What's your current record? What's your game of the week? And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. Thanks for watching.